So you've been there, right? You're coding with an AI, and 1 minute it's pure magic, just boom, perfect code. And the next, you're pulling your hair out, stuck in this endless loop of, no, that's not quite it. Well, what if I told you there's a way to fix that inconsistency? Today, we're going to dive into a framework designed to do exactly that.
All right, so here's the plan. We'll start by naming that nagging problem we all feel. Then I'll introduce you to this really cool framework, the Specification Stack. We're going to break down its 4 layers, look at how to use it and how not to use it, and wrap up with a whole new mindset for working with AI.
Okay, let's kick things off with the big question, the vibe coding problem. Why on earth are the results so hit or miss?
I mean, come on, you know this feeling. You're trying to get the AI to do something, you've prompted it like 6 times, and it's still just not getting it. It's so frustrating. It feels like you're just having a bad luck day with the AI. But here's the thing. What if it has nothing to do with luck? Exactly. This quote really hits the nail on the head. It's not about the AI having a good or bad day. The secret is that on the good days, you're doing something different. There's a system, a skill that you might be using without even knowing it. And today, we're going to put a name to it. So that brings us to the solution. It's not about just yelling more words at your AI. It's about finding a better way to talk to it, a framework for getting the right kind of specific. And that solution is called the Specification Stack. Honestly, the best way to get it is to think of it like a camera, right? You've got different zoom levels. You wouldn't try to take a picture of a mountain range with a macro lens. It's the wrong tool for the job. This is the same idea. It's all about communicating with the AI at the right altitude or zoom level. And this right here is the trap we all fall into. When something goes wrong, what's our first instinct? Oh, I just need to be more specific. We write these gigantic prompts, just dumping in more and more detail. But that's not the answer. The real skill is knowing when to zoom out for direction and when to zoom in for the nitty-gritty details. It's about picking the right level. Okay, so let's break down these 4 zoom levels. We're going from the super high-level big picture view all the way down to the tiny, tiny details.
All right, layer 1, vision. Think of this as the 30,000-foot view. We are not talking about code at all here, not yet. This is all about the why. What are we building? Who's it for? And most importantly, what's the vibe? How should this thing feel? This layer is your North Star for the entire project. So check out this example for a habit tracker. See what's not there? No mention of JavaScript or React or databases. It's all about the feeling, without the guilt, encouraging, lightweight. This is the kind of stuff that gives the AI the context it needs to do a good job later.
Okay, now we zoom in a little for layer 2 architecture. We've got our vision, so now we're asking, okay, how do we actually build this thing? We're talking about the main pieces, the tech stack, how data is going to flow. This is basically the blueprint for our application. And here's what that looks like. We're making some big decisions. Let's use React. We're mapping out the core pages or views. We're even making a simple choice about data storage. Local storage for now. Notice we're still not talking about button colors or form validation. We're just putting up the scaffolding. All right, time to zoom in again. Layer 3 is implementation. This is probably where you spend most of your time with an AI today. You grab one small piece from your architectural blueprint, say a single component or a form, and you get super specific about how it should work. What goes in, what comes out, what are the rules? And boom, look at this. We're not talking about the vibe anymore. We're talking about character limits on a text field and validation. The scoop is tiny, just one form, but the level of detail is really, really deep. This is where you hammer out the actual functionality. And last but not least, layer 4, refinement. This is the microscope level. The key here is that you're not building anything new. You're taking code that is already functional and you're making it better. Think styling, performance tweaks, animations, all that good stuff, the polish. So with this example, the most important part is that the prompt starts with the habit cards work, but it assumes functionality. We're not asking it to create the cards from scratch. We're asking it to make them feel better. Words like sterile, subtle, satisfying, that's the language of refinement. Okay, so you've got the 4 layers. Awesome. But the real pro move is knowing how to dance between them. And, maybe more importantly, knowing the common pitfalls to avoid. Now, in a perfect world, you just go straight down. Vision, architecture, implementation, refinement. Easy. But, real life is messy. You'll be deep in some implementation detail and suddenly realize, oh wait, the whole architecture for this is wrong. The real skill is learning to recognize that and knowing when to zoom back out to a higher level to fix the root problem. Okay, watch out for these traps. I've fallen into all of them. First, the detail dump. You know, that one massive prompt where you try to explain everything from the user's life story down to a CSS variable. It just confuses the AI. Then there's the premature refiner, where you're arguing about a shadow effect on a button that doesn't even work yet. We also have the vision avoider, just diving straight into code with no why. And finally, the level mixer, asking for implementation details when you're supposed to be talking about architecture. Seriously, just avoiding these 4 things will make a huge difference.
So let's wrap this up. What this all boils down to is a new mindset. It's not a strict rule book. It's a whole new way of thinking about how you talk to an AI.
So here it is, your new playbook. Number 1, start with the why. Always. Get that vision layer down first. Number 2, one job per prompt. Don't mix your layers. Keep it clean. Number 3, and this one is huge, get to ugly but working. Make it function first, then make it pretty. And finally, number 4, when you're stuck, zoom out. Don't just keep hammering away at the same detail. The real problem is probably one level up.
And that's really it. That's the specification stack. It's a simple idea, but it's powerful. It changes you from just being a prompt engineer who's barking orders to a true collaborator with your AI. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you start a project, which level will you start at? Thanks for tuning in.